Well, I don't know if you care about this at all, but something I like to do sometimes, not on every painting, but sometimes I like to do it. I've decided to do it here, and that is, these lines are actually aiming up very gradually, helping you see perspective in the painting. It helps you to come down, come around behind this, and then come into the foreground. So if I were to measure the distance between here and the bottom of the canvas and here and the bottom of the canvas, the distance here is maybe 1/32 of an inch higher than it is here. In the case of this line, from here to the bottom of the canvas versus here to the bottom of the canvas, this is about 1/4 of an inch higher, greater in distance from the bottom than here. So although they appear to lay fairly flat, sometimes, and I don't always do it, and you don't have to do it. You know, you can make perfectly horizontal lines. But because this painting has such, you know, this has sort of gentle horizontal lines, but very dynamic lines as we come closer, I thought it might behoove me to raise them just a little bit. It also helps to aid in indexing this water, and I'm going to just do that now with a couple of lines to show you what I mean. Yeah, you know, this is the dominant line. Water meets land. But when you come into the waves, I think there's enough here, and this is very strong as well. See, all these lines are very strong. I think that the painting could withstand some, let's say, the crest of small waves or wavelets, or even just diminished fetch will be at an angle like this. Opposing this line going up will bring it down, and that'll help to oppose this line. Very subtle stuff. So I'm just going to take a guess at it here. I have a straight edge that is not a straight edge, but we'll just pretend that it is, all right? So we'll do something like that. I put a little bit of burnt sienna and ultramarine blue on my brush for this illustration. Okay, now we're changing the angle. You know, we're going even more down. Well, as you can see, I guess that's obvious. Don't need to insult your intelligence. Let's help that. Okay, now we're going to create a bigger distance and even more angle, and I don't have to follow these lines. All right, they are just indexing. They are helping me to decide the shape of the surface of the water as we go along here. Now my straight edge there still has wet paint on it, so as a result my hands also have wet paint on them now. But I'm sure you can see what I mean. I'll square the camera off in a minute so that you can look at it directly, and that'll make it more clear. Now, I'm not going to follow these lines exactly. I don't want it to be exactly. Again, I want to keep this painterly. I don't want it to look like an architectural drawing, you know. But architectural drawings have to be very accurate. That's why I will often lay in lines like that and go by them loosely, you know, to help keep things looking plausible. That way I don't sort of, when I'm being very intimate with my brushstrokes and I'm sitting up close and painting things in, I don't forget that I need to I need to maintain that feeling of perspective. So I'm sure you can see that this is now a flat surface, right, because of these lines. I'm sure you can also see that that might be some reduced wave fetch in this small passage or bay or whatever it is. And it helps the composition slightly. It supports this line. Okay, we got all these strong lines, like I keep saying. This is going to be very strong. I think it wouldn't hurt to have a few more, even if they're just indicated, you know, just suggested direction of line in these ways. Let me get off of my large storage unit, fat storage unit, my rear end, I guess you'd call it, and zoom in, and hopefully that camera picks that up. Yeah, I think you can see that. All right. It illustrates a little foreshortening, which supports perspective. Yeah, on the left-hand side there, I laid in a little bit of talus or scree, maybe some rock slides or landslides near the shore. As you can see, it's much better than it was when I last saw you, because they were very dark, weird-looking triangles. Now they're just lighter, weird-looking triangles. And the water in the distance, I've kept it cool, because I don't want to reflect the warmth of the sky in that water just yet. You know, you get reflection of light from the sky, but it refracts, it mingles with the nature of water. When it reflects any color light, it tends to come up blue. Now, of course, that's just picking up the surface reflection, but it is a painting. This does not have to be scientifically accurate. You go into nature, you will see that. You will see so many combinations of things. As we come into the foreground here, we will start to pick up a few slashes of the sky color, possibly mixed up with a few slashes of color from this mass of land here. Now, my feeling right now is that I might just continue working in the water and paint it before finishing this area, which will be kind of like dessert. It's the most rewarding, but it also takes the most thought. So I might go into the water, might even do the foreground first. I don't know yet. We'll see. Depends on the mood. Anyway, I know that's maybe these aren't that important to you, these things, but they all aid, they all help. I hope they help. They help me. I hope they help you. Have a good day, guys. See you soon.